Good morning, and thank you for joining us for our Sunday Dharma service this morning. We'll begin service with the ringing of the conch shell, followed by the chanting of Jusei, which will be on the screen, or if you would like to, in the purple book in front of you on page 93.
Namandats, 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 namandats. 가곤초세이강 이시무저도 시가흐만도 세후저성악 가오무려고 의다이세슈 후사이쇼빙 세후저성악 가시저분노 묘셔저지뻐 극겸이쇼모 세후저성악 이여그지쇼네 여해슈봉요 書天にし人力縁内庫不詳無才道少女三苦名交際主役な回避知恵言召し込も閉塞諸悪道通達伝主門高僧上万道いよろ実法日月主十期天候音符言一種解放道公正苦読法上大集中説法ししく供養一切部具足習得法元年出上満得意三愛用女仏無下地通達未不詳願学営利投資最小損志願や国家大戦を感動国書天に法珍妙慶ナマンダブナマンダブ Namandas, 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 namandas.
We will now have the reading of Three Treasures with Reverend Umezu.
Namandat, 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 namandat. I invite you to join me with your hands together as we recite the three treasures. Hard is it to receive a human form. Now we have received it. Difficult is it to hear the Buddha Dharma. Now we hear it. If we do not receive awakening in this life, in what life shall we do so? Let us reverently take refuge together in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. Together with all beings, may we attain the great way of enlightenment, awakening to the supreme intent of the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. Together with all beings, may we enter the storehouse of Dharma, acquiring wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. Together with all beings, may we become united at the great assembly, being free of all bondage. Hard is it to encounter the supreme, profound, and wondrous Dharma, even in 100,000 million kalpa. We are able to hear, and now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true intent of the Tathagata. Sankyemon. Ninjin ukegatashi ima sudeni uku. Buppo kikigatashi ima sudeni kiku. Konomi konjo ni mukatte dosezun wa sarani izure no shou ni mukatte kakonomi o dosen. Daishu moro tomo ni shishin ni sanbo ni kieshi tate matsuru beshi. Mizu kara butsu ni kieshi tate matsuru. Masa ni negawaku wa shujo to tomo ni daido o taigeshite mujou yo okosan. Mizu kara hou ni kieshi tate matsuru. Masa ni negawaku wa shujo to tomo ni fukaku kyouzo ni irite chie umi no gotoku naran. Mizu kara sou ni kieshi tate matsuru. Masa ni negawaku wa shujo to tomo ni daishu o tori shite issai mugen naran. Mujo jinji mimyo no hon wa 100,000 万語にもあうことがだし。我今検問し従事することへたり。願わくば如来の真実義を下し立てまつらん。Namandavs, namandavs, 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 namandavs.
Now we will have a Dharma message from Reverend Takata.
Would you please join me in Gassho? My eyes are being hindered by blind passions. I cannot perceive the light that grasps me. Yet the great compassion, without tiring, illuminates me always. Namo Amitabha Butsu. Namandavs, namandavs, namandavs. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining our Sunday service. I'd like to welcome all of you, and a special welcome to those who are attending our service for the first time. Halloween is approaching. Some Christian churches celebrate Halloween, and some don't, based on their beliefs. Halloween may be the closest equivalent to our observance of Obon, which is associated with the story of hungry ghosts. When Halloween comes to a close, I see the spider and its web or thread as decoration at the grocery stores. It always reminds me of the story of Kumo no Ito. Kumo means spider, and Ito means thread. It was written by a very famous Japanese writer, Ryunosuke Akutagawa. One day, as the Buddha was walking through a garden, he paused to gaze into a pond. Through the water, he could see into the depths of hell, between the lotus flowers and lily pads. And his attention was drawn to a man named Kandata, who had committed many terrible crimes during his lifetime, but had one good moment. The Buddha was able to see into the life of Kandata and notice that he was about to step on a spider. However, Kandata changed his mind and decided not to kill the spider because he believed that the spider had just as much right to live as any other being. Moved by Kandata's compassion, the Buddha lowered a spider's thread from his garden into hell and invited Kandata to be saved. As Kandata climbed up the spider thread, he became aware of others trying to follow him. He selfishly demanded that they let go of the thread, insisting it was meant for him alone. Then suddenly, the spider's thread snapped, and they all crashed back down into hell. So the Buddha's garden represents the world of enlightenment, Pure Land. The hell represents the world we live in, the world of suffering. I believe that this story was written based on the teaching of general Buddhism. The common understanding of the teaching of general Buddhism is to stop evil deeds and do good deeds to attain enlightenment. Therefore, the Buddha gave an opportunity for Kandata to be saved due to his good deeds in the past. However, due to his defiled thought that only he should be saved, he was not saved by the spider's thread. And this is a basic teaching of general Buddhism, that one must receive the results of one's own actions, and that one could gradually approach Buddhahood by refraining from wrongdoings and practicing good deeds. However, the teaching of Amida Buddha differs from the teaching of general Buddhism. Shinran Shoni's teaching transcends the common understanding of general Buddhism on the Buddha's salvation. Based on the teaching of Amida Buddha, Shinran Shoni clarified, Kandata represents I, myself. I'm always selfish and carry my ego, self-attachment, and defiled passions like Kandata. My wishes are mostly based on my self-centered mind, like Kandata. and are meant to satisfy my own desires. As Shakyamuni Buddha teaches me, the cause of my suffering is always I. I outwardly don't show my ego. However, my mind is full of ego. In contrast, the Buddha's wish is free from self-centeredness. It is a manifestation of infinite wisdom and compassion, which is the Buddha's wish to save all beings. And more importantly, it is not just a wish, but it is always working for us. Our founder Shinran Shonin deeply reflected upon his human nature by hearing the teaching of Amida Buddha's primal vow and expressed his evil nature in his hymns of lament and reflection. He said, "Each of us in outward bearing makes a show of being wise, good, and dedicated, but so great are our greed, anger, perversity, and deceit that we are filled with all forms of malice and cunning." When Shinran Shonin truly knew his limitations of capability and ability through performing good deeds to attain enlightenment for 20 years, he didn't have anything he could depend on other than entrusting himself to the primal vow of Amida Buddha. By hearing the origin and fulfillment of Amida Buddha's primal vow, on how and why it was established, he was always filled with a mind of apology because of carrying all the time his defiled passions, a mind of great joy because of receiving a great gift of infinite wisdom and compassion from Amida Buddha, and a mind of gratitude because of the perfect salvation by Amida Buddha. He wholeheartedly expressed his gratitude and appreciation for the Buddha's great benevolence by saying the Buddha's name, Namo Amida Butsu. In the story, the Buddha tried to save Khandata with a spider's thread. The original Sanskrit word for the thread is sutra, which is the Dharma message of Shakyamuni Buddha. Shakyamuni Buddha expanded the teaching of Amida Buddha's primal vow. From the beginningless past, Amida Buddha established and fulfilled the wish to save all beings equally, without any discrimination. So Jodo Shinshu, which was clarified by our founder Shinran Shonin, is a teaching for those who carry full of defiled passions and cannot be free themselves from the self-centered mind. In Khandata's case, he had the opportunity to be saved due to his past good deeds. Although he was most likely saved by the spider's thread, he was not saved due to his defiled passions. In contrast, the Buddha called Amida Buddha saves all beings equally, regardless of their past deeds. Furthermore, the thread of Amida's primal vow never breaks, unlike the spider's thread. Amida Buddha's salvation is perfect, and the primary object of Amida Buddha's salvation is those who always carry defiled passions and keep committing evils, such as Khandata and myself. You can see many lights from our ornament. All of the lights from the ornament symbolize the inconceivable working of Amida Buddha's infinite wisdom. that constantly shines upon our defiled passions that are deep within our minds. And we can sense Amida Buddha's wisdom by listening to the teaching of the Buddha. And it is our practice to realize our deep-seated, defiled minds through listening to the Buddha's primal vow and light up our blind passions by the mirror of the Dharma. Thus, Halloween reminds me of the ghosts and poison in my mind. So let us fully reveal our poisons and foolishness through the light of wisdom of the Buddha, the mirror of the Dharma. Accept and recognize our true nature, who we are, and appreciate that our foolish selves are constantly sustained and embraced by the Buddha's perfect wisdom and compassion. Thank you very much for listening. Would you please join me in that show? Namo Amida Butsu, Nam Mandaus, Nam Mandaus, Nam Mandaus, Nam Mandaus.
Thank you, Sensei, for your Dharma message this morning. Next, we will have the reading of Rogemon.
I invite you to join me with hands together, Gassho, as we read Ryogemon together, words of understanding of our tradition. We rely upon Amida Buddha with our whole heart for the enlightenment in the life to come, abstaining from all sundry practices and teachings, and giving up the trust in our imperfect view. There is no doubt that the assurance of enlightenment comes at the very moment we entrust and we recite the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, in joy and gratitude for the Buddha's compassion. We also acknowledge gratefully the benign benevolence of our founder and succeeding masters who have led us to live in this profound teaching, and we do now endeavor to follow throughout our lives the way laid down for us. Ryoge Shutsugon. もろもろの造業雑種自力の心を振り捨てて、一心に阿弥陀如来、我らが今度の一大事の御所、御助け総来と頼み申して候。頼む一年の時、往生一条御助け事情と存じ、この上の称名はご恩報者と存じ、喜び申し候。この恩断り、弔問申し分け候こと、ご解散承認ご出世のご恩、次第僧正の前知識の朝からざるご関係のご恩と、ありがたく存じ候。この上は、定めを課せられる恩をきいて、一語限り守り申すべく候。ナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブツナマンダブナマンダブナ。
Hey, Jim, I'm having... Sorry about that. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties there. But now on to announcements. I just wanted to remind everybody that right after service, whoever's in here, we're having a movie and discussion right after, shortly after we conclude here. So if you guys want to make your way to the KaiCon, we'll be starting the movie shortly. Now for the announcements. Let's see here. Eitaikyo's seminar will be held on Saturday, November 11th from 10 a.m. And our guest speaker for that is Reverend Ryuta Furumoto from Senshin. He's the resident minister of Senshin. Again, that's Saturday, November 11th. So if you want to register, please contact us here at the office or WLADharmaCenter@gmail.com. Right the day after that, we have a special service for Eitaikyo. It's November the 12th at 10 a.m. And again, the guest speaker is Reverend Furumoto. Next, we have our monthly Dharma School, and the next one is in 2 weeks from now. November the 5th is our next Dharma session for that. So if you want to sign up for that, please contact us here. Also, we have a bunch of study classes. The first one is on Wednesdays, and that's what is the Jodo Shinshu teaching. That's held on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. The next one looks like it is October the 25th, which is this week, and that's led by Reverend Takata, and the suggested donation is $50. If you can't make the Wednesday session, we also have a Saturday session. Maybe, there you go. A Saturday session from 11 to 12 p.m. And the next one for that was held yesterday. So the next one for that is October the 28th. We also have a monthly chanting service and Buddhism Beyond Mindfulness. That's led by Reverend Umezu. And that's held, the next one looks like it's October the 28th. That's next weekend. Everyone is welcome and no chanting experience is necessary. As what I just talked about, today we'll be having our Sunday movie matinee and Dharma discussion. So after this, we'll make our way down to the KaiCon and watch our surprise movie. Every third Friday, we have bingo at the temple. The last one was held this past Friday, so we will have to wait another month to come by, but it starts at 7 p.m., and there's always some light food and snacks and parking. If you want to order our temple t-shirts, we have, I think we have them all in stock now again. There's a crew neck version, and there's also a V-neck version if you prefer that. It's not too late to sign up for Winapalooza. Winapalooza is being held in a couple weeks on November 4th. That's from 7 to 9 p.m. It's always a good time. They have a lot of different wines to taste. And entertainment is going to be with the Abasonics, who you may remember from our New Year's Day party, as well as our Obon Festival. And the small refreshments are going to be catered by Cherry Stones from Gardena. For that, it's $60 per person, and please register as soon as possible. Registration ends at the end of the week. And finally, we've been talking a lot about this for the last few weeks, but we've been starting our 100-year celebration for the temple, our centennial. We started off with replacing the flooring in our onaijin, and what you're seeing on the screen is our Nakotsudo project that we're doing. So we're replacing our Nakotsudo in the back, and here's a rendering of what the new Nakotsudo is going to look like once it gets installed next year in the back of the altar. So, yeah, if you'd like more information or questions about that, please contact us here at the office, and we'll be happy to assist you. All right, I think that's everything for today. So if you have any questions or anything, but anyways, have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next door in the KaiCon right after this. All right, Sensei.
Please offer offer incense. Thank you.